Pretty funky shit right there, man. Funky, funky. Alright, welcome back, my fine feathered YouTube chicklets. Let's get right to it. I've been reading over on Facebook. I get over there on those oh hell, what do they call it? I can't think, man. Groups. Different groups. You go there and search for like luthier groups or rock and roll groups, music groups, bluegrass groups, country groups, and see a lot of talk, and I get a lot of questions about this too. Oiling your truss rod, or you know, everybody's afraid to turn their rod, man. They're afraid of breaking it off, and you can do it. I've done it before myself. If you put a wrench on an adjustment head, and it's tighter than you feel comfortable, shoot some WD-40 down in it and let that soak for a little. Not like it's your morning cream for your coffee, not that much. Just a little bit, and let that soak and come back and try it again. I'm going to take this one completely off, and I don't know if this has got a two-way adjustable rod or not. A two-way adjustable rod, of course, you know, when you start loosening it, it'll get loose. And then it'll keep turning it counterclockwise, and it'll get tight again. I'm sure some of you probably don't know that. Most of you probably do. A one-way adjustable truss rod, you can screw the adjusting head completely off of it. I think that's what this is, if I remember right. Yeah, this is a 5mm. Yeah. It's already loosening up. Another tip for this is always use a wrench that fits perfectly, man. Like I say, this is 5mm in this guitar. Most Martin guitars, acoustics, that's what they are. I wonder how long this is going to take me to get this out now. But like I say, if it's a two-way adjustable rod, you can't screw the adjusting head off. Try to get a couple of drops of oil on the threads though. Usually you can see, you know, sometimes see the threads down in there. One drop of oil, man. WD-40, it don't last, it's thin, and it'll run down in there. It's good for breaking them loose if they're seized up or stuck. But you need a little heavier oil on there to actually lubricate it. 3-in-1 oil is fine. I've even went as far as to use car oil on before. 10W30, man. 20W50, there it is. And this is what everyone is afraid of, man. That's what everyone is afraid they're going to break off. Hope you can see it all right. This is a threaded end. Of course, there's the inch for the wrench. End for the wrench. Now on one like this, all I would do is I wouldn't try to put oil. Get the right end of it. I wouldn't try to put oil down in here. Like I say, if it's stuck, shoot just a tiny bit of WD-40 in there and let it soak, give it a few hours or a day or two, and then try to break it loose again. Don't put any more down in there. If it's like this, just drop one drop of oil down the inside of there where those threads are. That's all it takes. 3-in-1 oil. Like I said, you can use car motor oil, not dirty, of course, new motor oil. And one drop down in them threads, drop it back in there, and you'll feel it when it hooks. It's already caught threads that fast. A lot of times you can take the truss rod cover off and you can see threads right on the end, or you know, sticking out of the adjusting head. Drop a drop of oil on that. And if you're really brave, unscrew it and then screw it back down. Or take it completely off like I did this one if you can. Of course, you know, a lot of Fenders and electric guitars have them on this end. Some of them even have to take the neck off to adjust the truss rod. But that's all there is to that, guys. There's nothing to be afraid of at all there. Once you start to feel this kind, once you start to feel it get tight, stop. There you go a little bit. I mean, you know, I'll show you here. There, because it's now got tight, okay? I'm going to go, well, it fits in there tight, and you tighten it up too. I'm going to go a little bit tighter than that. Right there, I'm feeling it get tight, and the wrench is starting to stick. You don't want to go too tight. I mean, just tighten it to where you feel it get tight. Put it on the guitar if you have it off, like this. And string it up, you know, do it in your setup. And put your relief, adjust it for whatever relief you like. I like 10,000s on my electric guitars. And 12,000s, I'm talking about the relief this way. 12,000s on my acoustic guitars. That's just, you know, my personal preference. Your mileage may vary. Anyways, stop when it starts. You feel it get tight, stop right there. Wait until you get the strings on, start stringing it up and setting it up and doing all that and setting your neck relief. Then you'll probably have to tighten it more. You're not going to have to loosen it, I don't think. Now, somebody was asking me about a neck they had that had back bow in it. That's this way. See what I mean? Okay? They said they loosened the truss rod. And as loose as it will go, and the neck's still got back bow in it. I would suggest to you to buy a heavier gauge string than what you normally use on that guitar. Don't overdo this, because you can do some damage to the guitar if you overdo it. Buy some heavier gauge strings. This goes for electric or acoustic. String it up with those heavier strings. The heavier strings will pull more stress into the system, and make sure your truss rod's, you know, loose enough to it's going to bend. And usually you can get the forward bow or the neck relief you want by doing that. You don't have to always leave those strings on there, but leave them on there for, I don't know, a couple months if you can get by with them on there that long. Then take them off, go back to your regular ones, and you should have some relief in that neck then. And you can always, you should be able to adjust it. At least it's better than playing with a neck, you know, it's got back bow in it like that and you can't get it out. If the first heavy set of strings you put on it don't pull relief into it, go one step higher than that. If that don't pull relief into it, quit, man. There's something wrong. You can pull the guitar apart or pull the neck off or something bad might happen. You don't want any of that. So anyways, I'd recommend y'all going over to Facebook and get in on some of those. I don't type in them much. I do once in a great while. My name comes up over there all the time. I don't have time to type in them, but they're interesting read. A lot of good information there. A lot of it's wrong. A whole bunch of it is wrong, man, so be careful there. But, you know, it's a good place to hang out, conversate, and to just talk about whatever, man, music-wise. They have different, groups, I guess is the word. And you can search for whatever group or join a group. Sometimes you'll get I get tons of invitations. Want me to join this group, we join that one. I don't join any of them. I don't belong to any of them. But I do read a lot of them. Just, you know, some of them you can't get in unless you do join an R member. And that's okay, you know. But there's a whole bunch of them you can read through and that you don't have to be a member of. You can join if you want to or not. So anyways, that's where the guys was talking about this. One guy was scared to death. He said he started loosening these truss rod and it got loose and then it started to get hard to turn again. He kept turning it and he got afraid and quit. Well, that's a two-way adjustable rod, man. You tighten it clockwise to put back bow in the neck, okay? Now clockwise, I'm saying if you're looking at the truss rod like this, tighten it clockwise to put back bow in the neck. You dig? If it's a two-way rod, you're looking at it like this, loosen it counterclockwise. It'll get loose. It should get loose. And then it'll start to tighten up again. It'll start getting tighter. You'll feel it. That's what he felt. And nobody even told the poor guy it was a two-way adjustable rod. They said, well, you probably stripped the threads, one guy said. You know, the truss rod was doing what it was supposed to do. It sounded to me like it was. So I don't know how he ended up. He hadn't posted any more yet. He probably broke it off. And you can do that if you keep turning it, you know, enough. Even tightening them, you can do that. But like I say, on these old one-way adjustable rods, you can screw the adjusting head clear off. Drop you a drop of oil, like I showed you, into the adjusting head. And then screw that head back down on there. And you're set to go. Alright? That's all there is to that, folks. Hope it helps. Oh yeah. There's a guitar contest very close to you right now. Well, if you're a patron. It's coming. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. I got some guitars out over there looking at them. And I'm going to throw in one of the guitars. I'm going to make a screaming electric guitar player out of it. I don't have any more. The only acoustics I have left is 2 or 3 glary guitars. 2 of them is a classical guitar. Maybe that's all I got left. I can't remember, man. Too good. But yeah, man. Watch for it. It's coming as soon as I can get slowed down here enough to make the video and get it up to y'all. I'm sorry about it taking so long. Just so much crap going on here all the time. The pandemic going on. You got to scan everything that comes, you know, to kill the germs off on it. Here comes Cue Ball. Oh God, I'll see you next time. Toodaloo, folks. What? Cue Ball made the scene. It's been a while, folks. Now, what do you want to tell them? Tell them, say, we love you. Whoa. Say, we love you. What? What? Oh, good. We love you, good girl. Yeah. What? What? Good. I love you. We love you. Good. Come on. Get up in there. Good. Get it. What? Yeah, I love you. What, I love you. Get it. Get it.